Hello students, and welcome back to the final part of the first chapter in the syllabus of class 11 physics. Today we will be discussing about the conservation laws. Physicists explore the universe. Their investigations based on scientific processes range from particles that are smaller than atoms in size to stars that are very far away. In addition to finding the facts by observation and experimentation, physicists attempt to discover the laws that summarize these facts. In any physical phenomenon governed by different forces, several quantities may change with time. A remarkable fact is that some special physical quantities, however, remain constant in time. They are the conserved quantities of nature. Understanding these conservation principles is very important to describe the observed phenomena quantitatively. For motion under an external conservative force, the total mechanical energy, that is, the sum of kinetic and potential energy of a body, is a constant. The familiar example is the free fall of an object under gravity. Both the kinetic energy of the object and its potential energy change continuously with time, but the sum remains fixed. If the object is released from rest, the initial potential energy is completely converted into the kinetic energy of the object just before it hits the ground. This law, restricted for a conservative force, should not be confused with the general law of conservation of energy of an isolated system, which is the basis of the first law of thermodynamics. In an isolated system, the sum of all forms of energy therefore remains constant. For example, the falling body has a constant amount of energy, but the form of the energy changes from potential to kinetic. Now, according to the theory of relativity, energy and mass are equivalent. Thus, the rest mass of a body may be considered a form of potential energy, part of which can be converted into other forms of energy. The concept of energy is central to physics, and the expressions for energy can be written for every physical system. When all forms of energy, that is heat, mechanical energy, electrical energy, are counted, it turns out that energy is conserved. The general law of conservation of energy is true for all forces and for any kind of transformation between different forms of energy. In the falling object example, if we include the effect of air resistance during the fall and see the situation after the object hits the ground and stays there, the total mechanical energy is obviously not conserved. The general law of energy conservation, however, is still applicable. The initial potential energy of the stone gets transformed into other forms of energy, heat and sound. Ultimately, sound after it is absorbed becomes heat. The total energy of the system, that is of the stone and the surroundings, remain unchanged. The law of conservation of energy is thought to be valid across all domains of nature, from the microscopic to the macroscopic. It is routinely applied in the analysis of atomic, nuclear, and elementary particle processes. At the other end, all kinds of violent phenomena occur in the universe all the time. Yet, the total energy of the universe, the most ideal isolated system ever possible, is believed to remain unchanged. Until the advent of Einstein's theory of relativity, the law of conservation of mass was regarded as another basic conservation law of nature. Since matter was thought to be indestructible, it was and still is an important principle used, for example, in the analysis of chemical reactions. A chemical reaction is basically a rearrangement of atoms among different molecules. If the total binding energy of the reacting molecules is less than the total binding energy of the product molecules, the difference appears as heat and the reaction is exothermic. The opposite is true for energy absorbing, that is endothermic reactions. However, since the atoms are merely rearranged but not destroyed, the total mass of the reactants is the same as the total mass of the products in a chemical reaction. The changes in the binding energy are too small to be measured as changes in mass. According to Einstein's theory, mass, if denoted by m, is equivalent to energy E given by the relation E equal to mc square, where c is the speed of light in vacuum. In a nuclear process, mass gets converted to energy or vice versa. This is the energy which is released in a nuclear power generation and nuclear explosions. Law of conservation of charge. Conservation of charge states that the total amount of electric charge in a system does not change with time. At a subatomic level, charged particles can be created but always in pairs with equal positive and negative charge, so that the total amount of charge always remains constant. In particle physics, other conservation laws apply to certain properties of nuclear particles such as baryon number, lepton number, and strangeness. Such laws apply in addition to those of mass, energy, and momentum encountered in everyday life and may be thought of as analogous to the conservation of electric charge. Energy is a scalar quantity, but all conserved quantities are not necessarily scalars. The total linear momentum and the total angular momentum of an isolated system are also conserved quantities. These laws can be derived from Newton's laws of motion in mechanics, but their validity goes beyond mechanics. They are the basic conservation laws of nature in all domains, even in those where Newton's laws may not be valid. Conservation of linear momentum expresses the fact that a body or system of bodies in motion retains its total momentum. The product of mass and velocity under an external force is applied to it. In an isolated system such as the universe, there are no external forces, so momentum is always conserved. Because momentum is conserved, its components in any direction will also be conserved. Application of the law of conservation of momentum is important in the solution of collision problems that you will be studying in the chapter on work and energy in full detail. The operation of rockets exemplifies the conservation of momentum. The increased forward momentum of the rocket is equal but opposite in sign to the momentum of the ejected exhaust gases. You have already studied about the law of conservation of linear momentum in the syllabus of class 9 physics. You have understood the proof, how we are able to figure out that how the total momentum of a system is equal to the total momentum of the system in its final state once the particles of the system has interacted with each other. Now in all these cases we always consider that it is an isolated system, that is no external force is being applied on the system. Linear momentum word is used because the object is undergoing linear motion. So now, law of conservation of angular momentum. Conservation of angular momentum of rotating bodies is analogous to the conservation of linear momentum. Angular momentum is a vector quantity whose conservation expresses the law that a body or system that is rotating continues to rotate at the same rate unless a twisting force called a torque is applied to it. Now let me tell you, torque is actually the rotational analog of force. Whenever we are talking about movement in a straight line, we use the word force, but when the object is undergoing rotation, that is, it is moving about an axis, then we use the word torque. The angular momentum of each bit of matter consists of the product of its mass, its distance from the axis of rotation, and the component of its velocity perpendicular to the line from the axis. So you can see where we basically make use of the law of conservation of angular momentum. Besides their great simplicity and generality, the conservation laws of nature are very useful in practice too. It often happens that we cannot solve the full dynamics of a complex system involving different particles and forces. The conservation laws can still provide useful results. For example, we may not know the complicated forces that act during a collision of two automobiles. Yet momentum conservation law enables us to bypass the complications and predict or rule out possible outcomes of the collision. In nuclear and elementary particle phenomena also, the conservation laws are important tools of analysis. Indeed, using the conservation laws of energy and momentum for beta decay, Wolfgang Pauli correctly predicted in 1931 the existence of a new particle, now called neutrino, emitted in beta decay along with the electron. Conservation laws have a deep connection with symmetries of nature. For example, an important observation is that the laws of nature do not change with time. If you perform an experiment in your laboratory today and repeat the same experiment after a year, the results are bound to be the same. It turns out that this symmetry of nature with respect to translation in time is equivalent to the law of conservation of energy. Likewise, space is homogeneous and there is no preferred location in the universe. To put it more clearly, the laws of nature are the same everywhere in the universe. For example, the acceleration due to gravity at the moon is 1/6 that of the earth, but the law of gravitation is the same both on the moon and the earth. This symmetry of the laws of nature with respect to translation in space gives rise to conservation of linear momentum. In the same way, isotropy of space, that is, no intrinsically preferred direction in space, underlines the law of conservation of angular momentum. The conservation laws of charge and other attributes of elementary particles can also be related to certain abstract symmetries. Symmetries of space and time and other abstract symmetries play a central role in modern theories of fundamental forces in nature.